Good day, boys and girls. This is another important message from the office of Mango Thunderslice, and yes, did I get you to click on this video with the name Trump in it? Oh man, this is the most ironic and hilarious election cycle I've had the fortune of witnessing in all my 27 years in this incarnation, and wow. To me, it's just hilarious all the way through. Again, I've perceived the veil. I see this all as just a bunch of shenanigans, a bunch of theater, exactly that, political theater. It is not real, okay? But there is something very real going on, and that is in the minds of the American people right now, and I'm going to shed some light on exactly what's going on. I'm going to hope to provide some needed balance to this equation, because there is some ridiculous shit going on, okay? I'm going to start with these protesters of the Trump rallies. This is quite unbelievable, all right? There are people, like, I just read this whole testimony of a guy, a gay Hispanic Trump supporter who went to a rally to listen to Trump speak, and upon leaving and heading back to the parking garage, got ambushed by a gang of Trump protesters, and they broke his nose, they beat the shit out of him, they basically just went on a rampage and just started laying people out, sucker punching people, because they went and listened to somebody who's running for the highest office of the United States corporation, okay? If you think that that is an acceptable form of behavior in American democracy, you're a sign of the times in one sense, and you're a product of your environment, but in another sense, you're a fucking moron, and you deserve to be deported if you come into this country and you think you can just wave an American flag and just, man, well, we don't like this guy, he said something that we think is offensive, so we're just gonna go and sucker punch a bunch of random people. You're a fucking idiot, okay? And you should be deported from this country if you think that's acceptable. Alright, I'm an anarchist. I believe in no government whatsoever. I believe in people finding solutions through the market to achieve what they desire and need in their own lives, okay? And now we've got Bernie out of the race. I didn't want to enter this space right here until Bernie was out of the race, because until that point, you guys are all just caught up in your socialist delusions, okay? This is a tailored message to my millennial brothers and sisters who went to sleep 7.5 years ago when a melanin-dominant man got elected president in the United States. You all were ready for revolution when Bush was in office. You were protesting the wars. You saw the injustice of the imperial American force just rampaging across the planet. You were ready to take down the system. And then a black man got elected president. And you all went to fucking sleep. And I've been watching, okay? I didn't go to sleep. I fucking kept watching what was actually happening, okay? I didn't get lost in this safe space land, social justice warrior. We're gonna demand that the government solve all our problems. And meanwhile, there's people getting blown to bits by drone strikes ordered by Obama, ordered by Hillary in this criminally corrupt administration, the most corrupt administration in the history of American politics, even exceeding George Bush. Yes, George Jr. was less corrupt than this regime. You know why? Because you motherfuckers were actually paying attention. You could see the tyranny with Bush. And now, with Obama, you all went to fucking sleep, okay? And this is a necessary message for you, okay? I'm gonna break it down. I have no prejudice against Hispanics. I am emigrating from this country, okay? I'm moving to South America. I'm in the process of doing that right now. I find more resonant with Hispanic culture in my own life than I do with the vast majority of white people. White people creep me out, and for the most part. I'm not making absolute statements, but in general, there's so much anxiety and neuroses and I can't have a conversation, political correctness. Get the fuck out of here. Wake up and realize that there are real problems in the nation, not transgender bathroom issues, okay? Real fucking problems. The economy never recovered. It's been central bank money printing just thrown into the system, inflating real estate prices, inflating fine art prices, inflating yacht prices, but meanwhile all of us beneath the 0.1%. It's not the 1%, it's the 0.01%. And they are the politically connected elite. It is not just about wealth. I have no problem with a person being wealthy and creating a life for themselves and saving more than they produce and investing that into productive assets. That is the backbone of American society. And if you think that that is something antagonistic in your socialist little fucking worldview, you need to wake the fuck up. Okay? This is a message that's been a long time coming. The whole reason that we have a wave of illegal immigration in this country for the last 20 years is because of free trade agreements like NAFTA, signed by Bill motherfucking Clinton, okay, in the 90s, which basically brought American agriculture into Mexico, devastated their prices, the farmers went bankrupt, they got forced off the land, and guess what? They're impoverished, they're starving, they're hungry, and what the fuck would you do if you were in that position? They came right across the border, even if they weren't allowed. I'd do the same thing. I'm not blaming them for that, but that's a real fact, okay? NAFTA not only provided the incentive for the wave of illegal immigration that we've seen, it also provided the means, okay? There's so many, all these huge companies get these millions of trucks going across the border every single day, and with that comes the heroin, the cocaine, the murderers, the rapists. Yes, all of this shit is coming across the border as a result of NAFTA, which Bill Clinton signed. If we see Hillary Clinton presidency, we will see more of that times 10. You're going to have the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, ratified. You're going to have that exact same phenomenon across the whole Pacific Rim, okay? China, Japan, Chile, the whole fucking Pacific Rim is now going to be locked in this free trade agreement, and it's just going to cause more problems. It's going to devastate the American economy even more. And while you guys are, what bathroom should people use? Okay, we are on the verge of an economic collapse because the recovery never happened. They just reinflated a new bubble. It's about to pop, all right? There are 95 million people in this country of working age who are not working. And they say, oh, unemployment is so low. Yeah, what a magical recovery. Thanks, Obama. 95 million. The real unemployment rate is in the range of 20%, okay? A fifth of the country is doing nothing but collecting food stamps and playing fucking World of Warcraft and watching Game of Thrones. That's not a recipe for success, guys. That's a recipe for fucking disaster, all right? And this is an insolvent government, all right? The biggest criticism of Trump as a businessman, what he has spent his life doing, unlike Obama, unlike Hillary, all these career politicians who just sit in their fucking chair for their entire life babbling about this or that. It's not to say that there's no place for that, but seriously, you've done nothing with your life if you spent your entire life in politics, and that's reality, okay? The biggest criticism of Trump is that, yeah, he's had several bankruptcies, and I'm gonna let you in on a little secret that's not a secret at all. The United States corporation is fucking bankrupt, okay? Puerto Rico just defaulted on its debt. That is a fundamental proof that at this point the United States corporation is insolvent. We need somebody to go in there with a fucking sledgehammer and knock the fucking bricks out from under these useless federal departments that produce nothing for the American people except debt and regulations and tying their hands with red tape. It's bullshit. It doesn't benefit us. It never has. It never will. We need somebody to go in there and wreck shit. I'm not saying that I agree with Trump. I'm not saying that I like the guy. I resonate with more Hispanics than I do with Trump himself. But I'm looking at the real issue. We have a potential World War III scenario on our fucking doorstep. The United States has been antagonizing Russia and China. We're putting missile systems on their fucking front doorstep. And you're worried about transgender bathrooms? And LGBTQFR, whatever the fuck. I'm not prejudiced, but if you think that your race issues and gender issues are more important than World War III and an economic collapse that's going to wipe out the savings of the entire American people, you're fucking delusional, okay? And oh my God, Hillary, they're so critical of her because she's a woman. Oh, no, we're not critical of Hillary because she's a woman, because she has a vagina. It's because she's a fucking criminal. Okay? She is an organized mob boss. The Clinton Foundation is currently being exposed as a slush fund, basically where foreign donors or domestic donors, anybody who has $1 billion, can put money in and get favors in return. It's a professional bribery organization, okay? The story just came out about a guy got put on the National Nuclear Defense Council. And he was a Wall Street trader. You know how he got on there? Because he donated to the Clinton Foundation. Are you fucking serious? Oh yeah, they're critical because she's a woman. No, she is a criminal. Like, I struggle to think of a politician in the world, even in the dictatorial countries, who is as blatantly corrupt as this woman. It is unbelievable. I say the president of Turkey runs a close second. Another ally of the West who we dutifully support, who basically he's executing journalists right now. Like, I mean, man, I'm worked up, and I hope you realize why, because I've been watching this shit, my fellow millennials. I've been watching you guys in your slumber, in your fantasy, in your Disneyland for the last 7.5 years, and now you're waking up to it, and you think, oh wow, what a great time Obama's had, and wow, everything's gotten so much better, and now, oh, let's get Hillary in there, and oh, why are they being critical of her? Oh my god. You're fucking delusional. You need to wake the fuck up, because you and all of your family are gonna have their savings wiped out, and your country and your military is going to be engaged in a World War III scenario if Hillary is elected president. Ironically, Trump is, in his language in a lot of ways, extremely hawkish. He is very warmongering. But in very critical ways, he is dismantling the American empire. He is not in favor of NATO. He is not in favor of nation building and all these random places all over the world that has nothing to do with us as people. He's not interested in confronting China and Russia in this weird, military back and forth like we only saw in the Cold War. They want to restart the Cold War because they have nowhere else to go. Their financial system is fucked. FUBAR. Fucked beyond all repair, okay? And this is a critical turning point in human history. We have 2 timelines before us. I will not be voting. I'm an anarchist. I know for a fact that voting does not matter. But I see 2 timelines as a time traveler, all right? There are 2 timelines, and what we're looking at is World War III and an economic holocaust with Hillary Clinton. With Trump, we're basically looking at a structured default, the knocking out of a whole bunch of federal departments, and we can make this a little bit easier, okay? I trust a man who's declared bankruptcy 4 times to lead us through the bankruptcy of the United States corporation. And in case you haven't heard, $17 trillion, I don't know, it's moving at light speed now. Panther's home. I was hoping to have this done before, but this might be a perfect opportunity to balance the equation. I've put a lot of energy into this message, and Panther is coming in with a bag full of lovely organic vegetables and a bicycle, alright? Don't even try and paint us as typical Republicans. We're anarchists, and we love life, and we want to see the best for our fellow brothers and sisters of the human race, okay? And that's basically the gist of my message. We have serious divisions in this country that are very, very dangerous, especially on the precipice of an economic downturn like we're facing. And I just want to hope to bring a little more balance to the equation. Help the people who are freaking out about Trump realize that there's a little more to the equation than you're perceiving. And
a lot more.
There's a lot more. Panther, would you like to come in and add something? I know you didn't hear what I said, but...
Give me a second.
But basically, it's all about balance, guys, alright? It's not red versus blue. We're all human beings, and we all just want to see the best for each other, and...
I don't know what Mango said, but if I was going to add something, it's that people get... Trump's a racist, he's a bigot, he's a sexist... he makes those comments, but if you actually look at any of his other policies, like really look at what he says about things that matter, like foreign policy, actually about immigration, like actually his plans, they're really not that extreme. Like Trump is extreme in his appearance and how he puts himself off, but he's actually really moderate in his policies. I mean, compared to Hillary Clinton, who's the opposite. She appears very moderate, but she's very extreme in her policies. And of course, in the digital age of just trending on Facebook and headlines, oh, he said this, and everyone jumps on board. But I think the sign of a really smart person is actually looking beyond the headlines to figure out what's actually going on.
That was absolutely beautiful, and I have nothing more to add. That was the poem to cap this rant that I've offered you today. So, you know what? Offer me whatever comments you like. I've got leather skin. I can take whatever you throw at me. But understand that I am not a bigot. I am not a racist. I'm moving to South America to build my home and my lifestyle, our lifestyle together. And you know, this polarization needs to end, and we need to realize that it's not red versus blue. It's the people versus the imperial state that wants to. It's the purple, exactly. We are purple, and purple is the symbol of royalty because we are sovereign, and we will not be dictated to by Trump or Hillary or anyone. And that is the reality of being a boss. Cheers.
Peace.